In this lesson, we're going to be talking about plucking notes together. So we're going to do a couple exercises, and we're going to start with a G major chord. We're going to do a G, C, D, and G chord progression. So we're going to start by picking 3 notes together. We're going to pick our thumb on the low E string, our first finger on the G string, and our second finger on the B string. So you just want to practice, you just kind of snapping your fingers together. Kind of like that motion. One, two, three, four. Then we're going to go, the next bar, our thumb's going to do the same thing, but now we're going to pick the high E and B string with our second finger and our third finger. Now we're going to go to a C chord and do the same thing, but now our thumb is going to play the A string. Then we're going to go to a D chord. Now our thumb's going to play the D string. Back to a G chord. So that's exercise 1. Make sure you get that down before you move to exercise 2. Okay, exercise 2 is very similar to exercise 1. Now we're just going to alternate between what our first and second and third fingers are doing. Same chord progression, G, C, D, G. But instead of doing 4 quarter notes for each thing, we're going to go back and forth. So thumb on the low E string, first finger G string, second finger B string. And then we're going to alternate between that and our second finger plucking the B string and our third finger plucking the E string. So then we're going to go to our C. Now our thumb is plucking the A string. D. Now our thumb's plucking the D string. Back to G. So we're just alternating between those two. If we took our thumb out, our first and second, our fingers would be doing this. Throughout the entire chord progression. So when you get that down, then we'll move on to exercise 3. In exercise 3, we're going to be using 4 chords. We're going to be using D minor, G, C, and our A7 chord. We're going to be basically just picking quarter notes, and we're picking 4 strings at a time this time. So we start with our D minor. We're going to be picking our thumb on the D string, and our other 3 fingers will be covering the E, B, and D and G string. So we're picking all those at the same time. Then we go to a G chord. Everything stays the same for our 3 fingers. Our thumb just moves to the low E string. Then a C chord, same thing. Our 3 fingers stay on the E, B, and G string. Our thumb plays the A string. Then we go to our E7, same thing. So practice doing that. You're kind of throwing your fingers back into your palm. They kind of snap together like this. Okay, so when you get that down, you feel pretty comfortable with that, then we can move on to the next lesson where we're going to tie all this stuff we've learned together.